Alexander Volkanovski is once again the featherweight champion of the UFC after beating Diego Lopez for the vacant featherweight belt at UFC 314. And I must say, the fight was an absolute barn burner. 5 rounds of Diego Lopez trying to get it done, but Volk has evolved as a fighter since the Topuria fight and is looking sharper than ever. Now, besides healing up from his fight with Diego Lopez, the big question now is what should happen next? And who should fight for the featherweight title? There is a few options here, but let's start looking at the top 10 of the featherweight division. Now, I want this video to be out Monday, but it very well may be out Tuesday. So I'll be using the rankings that were available just after the fight, and they may actually get updated Tuesday, but usually the rankings don't change a whole lot. So I'm using the rankings that were available just after the fight. So let's start by removing 4 people and fighters coming off losses. Josh Emmett, Aljamain Sterling, Brian Ortega, and now Diego Lopez. Max Holloway is also coming off a loss, and although I would love to see him fight for a title, I gotta remove him from the list as well. And we have to remove Volk from the list because obviously now he is champ. And remove anyone ranked below 10. And now we have our updated list. Topuria is going up a weight class and is probably going to fight Islam or one of the other top contenders in the lightweight division like Charles. However, if Topuria is just doing this for the hype and at any point in the future he decides to come back down to featherweight, whether that's a few months from now or in the future, I definitely think he should be in line first for a title shot. After all, he stormed through the division very easily, and if anyone deserves a title shot, obviously it's going to be him. But let's eliminate Ilya from the list because he is most likely going to go up in weight and fight Islam Makhachev. But option 1 is definitely Ilya Topuria. Now, looking back at our list, ranked number 7 and 8 Arnold Allen and Lerone Murphy, you could definitely make a case for them getting a title shot, but that's a bit of a low ranking to get a title shot. Now, the new fan favorite John Silva, who just beat ranked 13 Bryce Mitchell, and John will probably be ranked Tuesday when the rankings come out, since he just won, but he would also be ranked a little low, and there are some people in front of him as well. So logically, that only leaves 2 people, Movsar Evloev and Yair Rodriguez. And to be honest, this is an extremely tough choice. Yair looked incredible in his fight against Pitbull at UFC 314. He has evolved so much as a fighter and got so much better, especially in the wrestling department. He looks like a completely different fighter than when he fought Brian Ortega and Alexander Volkanovski and lost to both of them. His wrestling is much better, his striking looks more clean, and Alexander Volkanovski, ever since he has been away since he lost to Ilya Topuria, he has also evolved. Everything looks sharper on him as well. And he was already one of the greatest fighters in my opinion. Volk's striking looked great, his wrestling looked great, he looked well-rounded. But keep in mind, there wasn't much grappling. So, since both of these fighters have evolved so much since they have last faced each other, I would genuinely love to see them fight each other again. And it's a fight that genuinely excites me, and it's the matchup that I want to happen. But I think the most realistic matchup that is actually going to happen is going to be the number 4 ranked Movsar Evloev versus Alexander Volkanovski next for the title. This is a huge fight. Movsar is currently 19-0, undefeated in the UFC, and having beat Diego Lopez, Arnold Allen, and Aljamain Sterling, if anyone deserves a title shot, it's him. He has fought his way to the top, he has waited his turn, and Movsar Evloev is definitely the number 1 choice for a title shot. The only thing you could really criticize is that Movsar didn't take a fight against Aaron Pico that was offered, who's actually a UFC newcomer. I believe he's from Bellator and PFL. I really only follow the UFC, but looking at his record, it's semi-decent. You have 13 wins and 4 losses. When I say semi-decent, I mean pretty good. And he was fighting some of the top guys in the other organizations. And if the UFC wanted to give him Movsar Evloev as his first fight in the UFC, that should tell you something. Aaron Pico, who was recently signed with the UFC, could also be in talks for a title shot, but there is way too much action in the featherweight division, and there are fighters who have been in the UFC a lot longer than he has, who have waited their turn and fought their way through the UFC rankings that, in my opinion, deserve a title shot over a newcomer. But Aaron Pico is in the mix. But yeah, in conclusion, I would love to see Yair Rodriguez get a title shot. I'm a big fan of him as a fighter and as a person. But I know logically it has to be Movsar Evloev. Now, I'm going to quickly match up the rest of the division here, so it's going to be kind of rapid fire. Number 4 ranked Movsar versus Volkanovski for the title. Number 2 ranked Max Holloway, who has been rumored to fight in June against Dustin or Charles, but nothing is official. But if he fights at featherweight, maybe him against number 5 ranked Yair might be a good fight. Again, as these two have fought before. Number 3 ranked Diego Lopez versus the number 7th ranked Arnold Allen. Number 8th ranked Leron Murphy versus the number 6th ranked Brian Ortega. Number 9th ranked Aljamain Sterling versus the number 12th ranked Yusuf Zalal. And the number 10th ranked Josh Emmett versus John Silva, who will most likely be ranked Tuesday. And that is the top 10 matched up, and also who I think should fight Alexander Volkanovski next, which is definitely Movsar Evloev, but Yair Rodriguez might be in those talks as well. We'll see what happens. We know it's a crazy sport, but let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Anyways, love you. See you next time. Peace out. Have a good one, and have a good day.